I'll start with the fact then. Did you know that there are only 9 electric cars in the world that can sit 7 people? And although this starts at £65,000, I would argue it offers more, is more original, and, well, look at it, it's a fortress. And there are so many exciting quirks in this car that it will make you think, hang on, wait, why is it only Kia that's offering all of this stuff? This is the most unique experience ever. I mean, you know, we've done loads of electric cars, but this is unlike, it's not even a car, it's a thing. It's a thing, this is. Yeah, and you could say that this is a new generation. I mean, look at this, 82% and 269 miles means in real world Howard terms, that's 328 miles. And look at this, your energy consumption history, which is very useful to see who was driving. Looks like my mum was driving that day, but it actually wasn't. It was me. 4.2 miles per kilowatt hour. I've not seen numbers like that, have you? Kia say you'll be able to get 154 miles in 15 minutes, or 20 to 80% in 24 minutes, which is just enough time for you to go into the services, have a wee, and overpay for a coffee, which I did earlier, just for you. I like that. What is it? Don't ask me what it is. I just like it. This is the much talked about Kia new front light design signature, which is beautiful across most of the range. Very nice. And have a look at these. They really catch my eye, especially at night. I've also noticed down here we have these flaps which open. Sometimes they close, sometimes they're open, depending on whether the car needs cooling. But we know what they're really for, don't we? Exactly, your guns. And have a look at this, the number plate, EV9. You can't have it, someone else has already got it. Wow. Wow's good, isn't it? Wow. You could have a business, couldn't you? Something. So this is it, the boldest car on the road look. Gloriously confident, unapologetic in its stance, arguably the bravest thing Kia has ever done, and so far, it's working. But here's what I want to know. Why has it already won Car of the Year? And more importantly, does it tick every box for you? Even though this has a large opening area and it's high and square, this only has 1,500 litres of space, which compared to a Range Rover, for example, which has, I think that's 2,100. That is vast, although this is half the price of a Range Rover. Do you have cup holders in the back? A whole load of cup holders in the back. Do you have the 7 seats that are actually like a human can sit in? And look, you can move them with this button. Eh? All of them move like this. So I'm now going to do the second row seats. And the biggest thing of all, you've got a 12-volt charger here. This is brilliant, look at this. And if you're going to compare this to something like an EX90, you are sitting a little bit lower. There is a thing though, because when you get in this, it does a song and then it does this strange movement. I cannot emphasize enough how comfortable and how luxurious this seat is. It's even got this thing so that you can almost put your feet up. It'll come out there, look at that. Just a little bit of calf protection. And then when you move around, it moves in a way that I've not seen a car move before. So it does move like that, but it's got this almost dentist chair electronical thing. Definitely got comfort and space, haven't they? They've nailed that, haven't they? And they've got a Dr. Evil seat. It's the only seat in the world that you can turn around and tell the kids off. Now listen, I told you can't. Or if you're camping, you can have the barbecue director sitting in this way. No, sausages don't go on yet. You will find yourself in one of these getting a lot of attention. People will let you out of junction so they can, mainly because they can look at it. Of course, yes, you can have one of these for similar money maybe, but one of those comes with £11,000 worth of, interest, which is a lot of money you could spend on family days out. Yeah, and going to the zoo. But Anna doesn't mind. She went with the Volvo. Here's how you get these 7 seats working, because look, I've put these, twisted them round. Yeah, furniture. There we go. And this is the amount of room you'll get. You could even have, no, you wouldn't want to do that, but I could probably move that back. Look, that's how much room I've got. It's good. There's even a fan up here for your aircon, like in the aircraft. Just press the button if you need something. If you want someone, just press the button. If you look at this key, keys are very important because they are essentially the connection to your car when you're not in your car, is your key. Where's my key? Oh, here it is. And look how it kind of tones in with the interior of the car. It's very nice, but there's a couple of buttons on this key here. One is this and the other one is that, and essentially it means that you can pull into a car parking space, find the car parking space. If it's too narrow, you can get out and then use these buttons to move the car in and out. That is beautiful. You may never use that ever, but it's very good to show your friends. Speaking of your friends, they have their own aircon here, which is a nice touch. Having it up in the ceiling is very unique. That's lovely. Aircon on, it comes out these nice fans here too, and then there's plenty of light from the double pan roof. The materials are obviously made from special recyclable materials. So for example, the roof lining is made from plastic bottles. These seats are made from a very special biopolyurethane. The paint is made from rapeseed oil, and the plastics are made from sugarcane. Yep, you could probably eat this. It's actually firm around town. You will feel some of the bumps. I'm just listening to the electric sounds. By the way, you can turn them completely off, but the electric sounds are the nicest I've heard in any car, and the reversing sound will almost send you to sleep. It's so calming. There's no way I'll be able to show you. I will try. BMW had to spend about £1 million on Hans Zimmer. That sounds just as good. Here's how it fits in any car park. Look, just to show you the size, I did that. Deceptive that, isn't it? I also parked it manually without using any of the digital things. Yes, weight-saving wheel trims. Right, well, they're plastic, which means they could rattle if they come loose. Yeah, warranty though, don't worry about that. Oh, and yes, don't show that. That wasn't, I don't know. Shall we move on? What's next? Quietness. It is so quiet. Remarkably quiet, considering the shape. You know, it's not the most aerodynamic car, is it? But they've even thought of that, because there's a cross-wind system, and that cross-wind system, if you get a strong gust of wind, will take over the steering and the braking to stop you from, oh, I don't know, flying off a bridge. And as you can hear now, the only thing I can hear is actually the fan. If I switch it off, we are completely in silence now. Some of that might be to do with the foam in the tyres. Some foam tyres are good and some are not. But there's something else, the suspension geometry. They've done something to the suspension geometry, and that is probably affecting how noise gets into the cabin too. Let me just walk you through real quick how different this is as a thing. First of all, the seating position and the way everything is laid out is very unusual. You've also got this unique thing, which I'm sure you've seen on the internet before. If you want to select the gears, you make that little twist like that. This is your 360 camera, by the way. And then everything is new. It's like learning to drive all over again for some reason. Even the steering wheel, the thickness of this is amazing. It's flat at the top, flat at the bottom. Your drive mode is here, and there's your terrain mode. And here, of course, is your unique cup holders that can get larger or smaller. You've got a fingerprint thing so that you can have some security. And there's your wireless charger. The stereo is powered by Meridian, which is what they used to put in Land Rovers, and it all lights up at night. Plus, the maps are brilliant. Kia have made a choice in terms of the suspension, which is to not put air suspension. This is normal suspension here. Relatively clever what they've done, because they've taken into account the weight and the center of gravity, because obviously it's an electric car, all the weight is lower, which means that you get less body roll if you tune the suspension correctly, and that's exactly what they've done. One way to look at this would be, if you're carrying pints back to the table, the higher up they are, the more likely they are to spill. And if they're lower, yeah. It's not the most inconspicuous car though, is it? I'm not sure, if you're slightly shy, I'm not sure you could park this at the office without being triggered by someone saying something, yeah. But at least you would have got there semi-autonomously. Well, obviously there are cameras situated all over the car and radar, and this is fantastic because it does a couple of unique things. The standard things are, for example, this camera here where you can see your blind spot when you indicate. That's digital. There are obviously scanners to stop you from reversing into a cyclist, and blind spot monitors work very well to stop people from overtaking you on the left, which, by the way, in the UK you can do now on the M4. There's a lot of people doing that, so it's obviously a new law Anyway, this has got obviously the auto cruise, so let's press that on now. I'm going to put this on, and this does a number of things. So first of all, it does something called NSCZ. Now this means that the speed of the car will change in accordance with what it says the road should be. Now, not very many cars do that. So you're in automatic cruise control, it will slow down or speed up, not with the other traffic, but because of the speed limit. Not enough cars do that. And it's also got something called NSCC, which is the National Society of Cruise Control. Not really. It actually means that it's also working with the navigation to slow down for corners. It pretty much does everything. Yeah, £65,000 we mentioned earlier on, that gets you the 200 horsepower. If you want 7 seats and 378 horsepower, then you're going to be spending 77,000. That changes things, yes, and that 15-minute charge thing is only if you get 300 kilowatts of charge, which in England, I don't know any human who's been able to get that. I mean, by all means, correct me if I'm wrong, invite me to your charging network, but it would be nice if you could. I know that you can get those numbers in Norway, so essentially if you live in Norway, get one of these. Isn't that where Santa's from?
No.
I mean, or is it? No, that's the Northern Lights. Maybe both. No. The Northern Lights, which can change colour depending on the types of gases in the air, well, so can this. Kia call their controllable one-pedal drive, by the way, I-pedal, which, like the Northern Lights, is also, well, quite heavenly. And they've also gone one further by reminding you cleverly what each pedal does by putting an icon on. See, so that one is slow down and that one is speed up. Now, just in case you forget. And so, to the question, does it tick every box as you might expect for the world's most interesting car? Well, no. The boot isn't very big. It doesn't have air suspension as you would expect. And third, well, it's expensive. That said, 7-year warranty, World Car of the Year last year. It's faster than it should be and feels exceptionally premium. So, yes, it checks new boxes. And you probably won't get more car for less money.